Hello everybody, Justin with Kiki Nursery. Want to do a guided tour of the Kiki Gardens. We just started breaking ground this year, so with all the food forest products anyway. We've had a few of these pines in the ground for a couple of years. But yeah, let me show you around a little bit. So all these piles of sawdust that you see are the blueberries we just planted. We still have a bunch more to do, but these are going to be the walking paths that will eventually fill up with wood chips. So some of the arborvitae here been getting hammered by the deer. Plus we kind of neglected them the last couple of years. So these have gone with pretty much zero irrigation. So we get pretty dry here in the Northwest for a good 3-4 months out of the summer. So limber pine. So most of these pines, a lot of you might be thinking, well, why are you planting all these pines so close, to the trails and everything else? But we're going to be doing a lot of, Japanese style pruning on the pines. So that one's called Sunshine Blueberry. And then I believe over here we put some Elliot. Let me double check that for you. Yeah, so those are Elliot. So with the sawdust, kind of repurposed it. I just planted 11 more fruit trees, planted some pears and cherries. And so when they come bare root, they're wrapped in sawdust. So figured we'd repurpose the sawdust on the blueberries. So like this area here is going to be kind of a little cove garden. So you walk in here. There's going to be a dry creek going through there, which during the winter when it's actually raining, all the water coming off that hillside there is culverted under that gravel. I don't know if you can see that black culvert. Let me zoom in a little bit. So there's a black culvert, 12-inch culvert. So we're just gonna fill that with river rock. And I'll probably put a little man bridge right across here. You can see the pond is on the other side there. So any of you that have been able to tour like Isley Gardens or watched some of my other videos that I've done on Isley Gardens, trying to use a little bit of their same concept here, where everything's more in like raised beds. Our paths are going to be a little bit more narrow. I basically just wanted them wide enough that, it's wheelchair accessible. I can get the little mini excavator in here and dig out, big specimen trees if I ever need to, do any kind of repairs or whatever with equipment. A few little spruces planted. Little globe blue Scots pine there. Honeycrisp apple. Just planted, that's a Van cherry. Nice little shot of the pond today. We started this pond, I think it's been almost 3 years now. I just dug it all out with an excavator. Put a big stump in there for some fish habitat. And there's a bunch of lilies in pots down deep. So you can see that stream's gonna come through here. Just kind of left a liner here so we can throw a bunch of rock on it. It's probably gonna do something we'll tackle this summer. So originally I had this wall a little bit higher, but I want to have the pond surface be, or the shoreline be a little bit more accessible, because this was higher. So we're cutting it down and then, berming up around here so we can plant it out. And the idea with this area is going to be, like, I got a few of these specimens planted that'll get a little bit bigger, but like I said, I'm going to keep everything pruned. But the idea is we'll probably do a lot of dwarf miniature stuff throughout here to be more of a display garden for the plants that we sell. I know everything looks pretty rough, but you got to start somewhere. Maybe these videos will inspire you to tackle big projects on your property. Got a Chief Joseph over there. Pinus contorta Chief Joseph. The deer, the middle section there, the deer kind of hit. You can see how it's a little lopsided, but we'll let her keep growing and see what happens. So in the last video I made, I showed us spreading all the bentonite clay. That's what that lighter soil is on the walls there. And it has, swelled up quite a bit. We've gotten a little bit of rain, and it looks like it's holding pretty well, because on the other side of that berm right there is a ditch that goes out to the road. And it was running pretty good after our last bigger rainstorm. And it's almost dry right now, and it has rained for the last few days. So if that holds, that'll be good. But I only put 4 bags of that bentonite between there and then 1 bag over there. Oh, here's an example of barb that just is getting destroyed by the deer. The tips are all broken off. Another pine that just got destroyed. So we put a culvert in here. Basically to give a little bit of a bridgeway between the 2 ponds. There's a picea or a spruce called the limey. I don't know if it'll show it very well, but it's really pretty in the winter. The tips are all golden. That was planted a couple years ago. Here's another Picea pungens, the blues. You can see all the deer damage. So like I said, I'm just leaving these. You know, they're still thriving and pushing a lot of new buds. So you know, originally I was gonna fence this entire area in and make that kind of the first project, but to be honest with you, I really don't want to keep out all the wildlife. I'd rather try and see if we can coexist. And you know, if they destroy a pine here and there or whatever, I guess that's the benefits of owning a nursery. Plant another one, right? And originally, like I said, this was going to be all display garden and everything. But you know what, the world the way it is, and got me thinking that why not just incorporate a food forest into this entire garden, which is what inspired to start building these swells down here. Which this area down here is where just got done planting most of the apple or the fruit trees. We've got 8 Honeycrisp apple. I think we did 5 or 6 Rainier cherry, 2 or 3 Van cherry, and a couple pear. But I don't remember what the cultivars were. I think one might be a Bartlett. But anyway, so these swells are going to go all the way down that hill down there. And yes, if anybody that has a small excavator can see what's going on here. When you have these rubber tracks, they like to pop off easy. And for the first time ever, both tracks popped off on me. And then the greaser that you pump full of grease to pressurize the track so it's tight, the fitting on that broke. So, you know, you go to the John Deere dealer and they wanted $120 for a little part. And then, you know, you go online and it's $20 for 2 with free shipping. So maybe that'll save somebody money that's looking for parts for their equipment. You know, go to the dealer, get a part number from them, and then go order it somewhere else, because I couldn't believe the markup on that. So anyway, yeah, I was just finishing this ditch, which is holding water quite nice. Finished it about 6 days ago. And both the tracks were rubbing the sidewalls there, and both of them popped off. So I got that one back on. I need to recharge it once the parts come in to me. Then we have to put that track back on, recharge it. So I'll be in there with, you know, some mud boots. But, you know, that might be the least of my problems, because trying to get it out of that slop is going to be another challenge. So I might make a video of it. But luckily we're supposed to get, I believe, 7 or 8 dry days in a row. And if I can get that part in within the next couple of days, we can make that happen. A few more blueberries. These are Elliott's. So we still have, I think we've got around 70 in the ground right now of the blueberries. And so we still have about 180 to go. Another Honeycrisp apple. Rainier cherry. Honeycrisp. Honeycrisp over there. I got 1, 2, 3, 4 Honeycrisp there. So with this area, I've talked a little bit on the other videos about how we're kind of going to do a hybrid food forest garden. And what I mean by that is, so, you know, your typical permaculture, you know, you got your top canopy trees, which is going to be your fruit trees, your nut trees. Then you have, like, you know, your shrub layer, which will be all like the blueberries and, you know, all the different berries and also other shrubs, you know, nitrogen fixing shrubs and things you want to put in. And then you've got, you know, your ground layer, like strawberries and different ground covers. Then you can put vines, you know, your grapes, kiwi, things like that, which, you know, can grow up on these fruit trees, or you can stake them. I had some old posts right over here, so I'm gonna dig these in with the excavator once I get it going. And I'm gonna grow the grapes up on these bad boys. So, haven't quite decided where I'll put them, but, you know, along one of these edges to where it makes it easy to pick them. And so all these ditches we're also going to fill with bark chips. Basically, you know, make it a great big sponge so it can just slowly feed these banks. You know, all the roots of these trees are going to go down and probably start growing into it. And eventually, you won't see such a contrast of, you know, hill, a ditch. Because once you start filling that up with wood chips and some of this, you know, soil sloughs off a little bit, it'll equal itself out. But a really good way to start. I'm excited about it to see how it all plays out. So anyway, back to the idea of a hybrid. So as you can see, we put some nursery stock in the ground over here. And then I put an apple tree right in the middle of it. Okay, so the idea with the nursery stock is we sell it. As we sell it, we pull every other plant, right? Ship it to the customer. And then, you know, if we don't sell enough of one type, I'll probably pull every other plant anyway, pot them up, and we'll have a little garden center right up there by those, pretty much where the dump truck is right there. You can see the cat back there, all the way back to those Connex boxes will be where the garden center will be. But so yeah, like I say, we can thin those out by pulling them out, potting them up, sell them up there. But I want to do this whole concept all through here. So this is all going to be food forest / nursery crops. And I've never seen anybody do this or try this. So we might be the very first. If you've ever seen or heard anybody doing it, let me know in the comments below. I'd like to see, you know, I'm sure we'll make some mistakes along the way. And if somebody's already tried this idea, it'd be nice to collaborate maybe a little. So each one of these long ditches has a break in the middle. So there's one there, one here, and then this is where this one will be. So, and the idea is these are all built on, you know, on contour. So that edge over there and that edge just past the excavator are the same level. And that edge right there is the same level, except for it's maybe about 2 inches lower. So the water is going to come through these middle ditches and feed the next ditch. So it'll start at the first one, work its way down here, work its way down, Like I say, eventually this whole hillside will be ditched. So we're calling the garden up there around the pond phase 1. This is phase 2. And then beyond those stumps right there, that big line of stumps, I'm not gonna walk all the way down there, but beyond that will be phase 3. And then over there's another hilly side that I don't know if we'll do this same concept or just have a nice zigzagging path going through over there. But that'd be, phase 4, I guess. So there's a little bit of a tour. Hopefully as I do more of these, you can see the progression of not just the beauty of it, but some of the plants growing and bearing fruit. And some of the pruning we're going to be doing on, like I say, those taller pines and stuff. Probably cloud prune them and do different things. So hope to make videos of that and show you different things we're doing around here. So hope you find everything interesting, and if you do, like our channel, and if you want to leave me comments about things you might want to see us doing, projects we're doing, or if you have any ideas for the way we could do things better, I'd love to hear them. All right, signing out.